Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife. My name is Adam, and today's video is really near and dear to my heart. If you guys have watched our channel for long, you know that one of the causes that Sherry and I are really passionate about is the issue of homelessness. You guys know we have a lot of friends who are experiencing homelessness. We've worked hard over the last number of years to try to be connected into that community, to make friends who are on the street understand that whole issue better. And as we've done that, a lot of you guys have asked us questions and said, Adam and Sherry, we know this is an issue you care about. Is there anything we can do to help? What do you guys do practically? And so today I thought, you know what, right in the middle of Vlogmas, right before the Christmas season, right kind of in the dead of the cold of winter here in Alaska, I would make a video showing you guys one practical thing that Sherry and I do, and that is these homeless like blessing bags, these homeless care kits that we keep in our vehicle that we give out as we encounter people on the street. I'm going to talk about what's in them, why we've included everything that's in them, and some things that you guys can do to make a difference in the lives of those experiencing homelessness this Christmas season. So I think we just need to jump into this. I'm gonna, again, go through kind of all of this stuff, why we give it away, why it's included, and just, you know, in our vehicles, we kind of keep two different things at the ready. We have these bags, and these bags we give out. And we also have a bunch of pairs of individual socks. Now, these are Bombas socks, full confession right from the beginning. Bombas, this year alone, donated 3,000 pairs of socks for us to give away to those experiencing homelessness here in Alaska. So we have a lot of socks that we give away. It's a huge thing. Not a lot of people know that socks are like the #1 requested item at homeless shelters in America. Always needed. And so we always keep lots of just individual pairs of socks on hand. But back to the bags. Let me show you what's in here. Now, first of all, you can see we pack these in a plastic bag. A lot of people who are experiencing homelessness, they might have a backpack with them, they might have a bag with them or a cart with them. And so just something that this stuff is in that is waterproof, that they could just like take this and put it right in their bag, put it right in their cart. It's just all confined and really great and easy. And there's lots of stuff you could put in here. And I'm gonna show you at the end some other ideas that you could put in here as well. And as I walk through this, I'm gonna tell you why I choose specific items. And the first thing I'll start with are just these wet ones or any antibacterial hand wipe. Now, I choose things like this. You could do, or I know a lot of people who do like a Purell, a hand sanitizer. The problem is that we actually don't like to give things that include alcohol, whether that would be a mouthwash or a hand sanitizer in liquid form. We've actually found that it's just a safer thing to do to give like antibacterial hand wipes, wet wipes, that sort of thing. So I really prefer something like this over like a liquid alcohol cleaning product. So always a thing of like wet ones or sanitizing hand wipes. The next thing, this is just one of those little travel to go first aid kits. You could also get just like a pack of Band-Aids. Remember, people on the street, cuts, blisters in shoes, blisters on hands, that kind of stuff, all of the time. And so these little travel first aid kits or travel packs of bandages for them to have on hand, really great, really handy. There's not always access to just like medical care or even like a medicine cabinet at home like a lot of us would have. If we needed a Band-Aid, most of us would go to our bathroom, we'd go to our medicine cabinet, we'd pull out our stack of Band-Aids and then like get one. Well, sometimes this is the medicine cabinet. Right? I love these. I got most of this stuff, just so you know, at Target. A lot of it in the travel section. I love the travel section because this stuff is like packaged to be portable. So love stuff like that. Also try to give just a pack of like Kleenex, right? Because when you're out there, you got to blow in your nose, you got to sneeze. You guys know me, I'm a sneezer. And so just a pack of Kleenex is great. Now, a few of these next items are sort of Alaska or winter climate specific. That is one of the things I encourage you to do, that if you live in a warm climate, maybe don't give things like this, but for us, we always try to give, let me pull them out here, just a pair of gloves, right? Just small little pairs of gloves in there, something just to be able to put on, hopefully keep your hands warm. I also include in there 2 pairs of socks. Now, why 2 pairs of socks? Again, as I said earlier, socks are super requested. I go through a ton of socks whenever I go into a homeless camp or whenever I encounter people who are on the street and I say, do you need a clean pair of socks, a new pair of socks? the response is always a passionate yes. They're very, very excited to give socks. Now, one pair of socks is great, but how great is it to be able then to change those socks after just a few days? Remember, a lot of times people on the street don't have access to laundry services as regular as most of us do. And so I love giving out multiple pairs of socks at once. And so in all of our bags, I have 2 pairs of these Bombas socks. Also, because it's cold in Alaska in the winter, these Hot Hands hand warmers are great. These can also go, they also have like feet warmers. They can go in boots. These can go in gloves. On really cold nights, I tell you, there's a lot of nights that are really cold here in Anchorage. And whenever I go out, one of my thoughts is how thankful I am to have a home that is warm to go home to. But then instantly my mind turns to my friends who don't have that, right? And I think about how on a cold night, something that brings warmth is a real blessing and a really good thing. So love these. Just, you can buy these in bulk at Costco, at least ours here in Alaska. So those are great. Another thing I love to include in here is some kind of a medicated chapstick. Now this is probably true for hot weather climates as well as cold weather climates. The lips are one of the parts of the bodies that are exposed pretty much all of the time, right? You can wear a scarf, you could wear a beanie or a hat, you can wear gloves to cover up a lot of your body, but for the most part, your lips are exposed. And so a lot of times, especially in the winter months, when I talk to people on the street, you'll notice just lips really chapped and broken and cracked. And so I love including like a medicated chapstick in there. And then as far as like a food item or a snack item, what I include in there, I'm gonna talk a little bit about this, is a Chewy Protein Bar. Now, that's intentional. And I want to talk a little bit about this because there's a lot of things that you could give as far as food goes. But the reason that I love Chewy granola bars, or I'm sorry, not granola bars, Chewy protein bars, is that number one, protein can be hard to get for people who are experiencing homelessness. On the street, getting adequate protein can be difficult. So I love protein bars. But then also, the reason I'm so big on like chewy foods when you give out, not crunchy foods, is there's not a lot of access to great dental care. And a lot of times there's a lot of dental issues among our friends who are experiencing homelessness. So if I give them like a really hard granola bar, or if I give them like trail mix with like peanuts or hard things in it, or even if I give them like an apple, those can be difficult for them to eat because, again, of dental issues. So giving them like chewy protein bars helps them. They're easy to eat, they're easy to chew. Also, they have a lot of protein. So I love to give like chewy things in there rather than hard things when it comes to food. So those are the items that we have in all of our like homeless care packages, care kits that we keep in these plastic bags in our vehicle. Now, every now and then we might include different things in here as well. If we find like a really good deal on hats, sometimes we'll include like beanie style hats in there. But I do want to show you, I got a couple other things over here that are additional great things to add to this kind of care kit if you wanted to. One thing that every time I go into a homeless camp and talking about food or drinks or what can I bring that they'd love, one of the things I always hear is coffee. You guys, coffee is like gold. And so these little just like Folgers or any instant coffee crystals that they could just add to hot water is spectacular. So even just to put a few of these, box of these were like $1.39 for 7 of them. Come on, they're super cheap. To put them in here so that they could get a shot of caffeine, a little bit of coffee is a great thing. Another thing, and again, the world has changed, masks. Masks are huge. Think of how often most of us need masks to get into places for our regular life. The same is true for our friends experiencing homelessness, right? To get into places where they could get food, to get into places where they could get needed basic services, a lot of times they need masks. Now, most of us have gone on Etsy and bought our masks, or we've gone to the store and bought our masks, or we've gone, right? Like that's how we get our masks. Our friends on the street don't often have access to Etsy. Right? That's not something that they use. And so to be able to include a mask so that they can get in and get like necessary and needed services is a really great thing. Again, a year ago, I would never have considered these in homeless blessing bags. Now I'm trying to put at least one mask in a lot of the bags, just so they have that on hand. A couple other things around the holidays that we like to put in there is just like a little Christmas card. just a little thank you card, or just a little holiday card. And I love this. Target had this. It's 10 $5 gift cards. Coffee's huge. Being able to just get something, a hot cup of coffee to put your hand on and warm up is great. So around the holidays, we don't do this year round, but Sherry and I here in the next day or two, we'll go through, we'll just write a nice note in each of these cards, just let them know that they are loved, that they're valued this holiday season, that that we really do wish them a Merry Christmas, and there's somebody out there this year that is thinking of them this Christmas season, and just put one of those Starbucks cards in there. Again, we don't do that year round, but around the holidays, nice thing to do. And then you can also put like a banana in there. Again, talking about soft foods, foods that are great to eat, easy to eat. Bananas are huge. I know that when Sherry and I were really involved in one of the homeless camps a couple of summers ago, bananas were one of the most requested things. Every time I'd show up with bananas, they would just like disappear. Like the bananas were always gone. So you guys, those are just some ideas of what you could keep in a Ziploc bag in your vehicle to give out to somebody. But now I want to talk a little bit more about like what that looks like, other things you can give that maybe don't fit in a bag, even some like best practice things that we've learned from our involvement in the homeless community. Because first of all, we don't give stuff to every person that we see. And this is one of those things that I don't know how to necessarily explain that, but Sherry and I really do give stuff to people that we feel we're supposed to. Now, it's hard to say how do you do that. There are certain people that we see and it's like, we both know, or one of us will just know, it's like, I really think we're supposed to give one of these to them. And so we will do that. We don't give socks to every person we see on a street corner. We don't give socks to every person that we encounter who is homeless. We really wait to be kind of led, at least, you know, again, you guys know Sherry and I are people of faith, and so we wait to be led to the people that we feel like we're supposed to give these to and supposed to help. And so what it looks like when we do that, a lot of time the socks are just like, it's a quick interaction, right? I might see them on the street. I might only have a few seconds with them out a car window. I'll roll down the window and I'll always ask them, you know, would you like a new pair of socks? Do you need a new pair of socks? It's never a roll down the window and throw it at them kind of thing. You know, you might not have a lot of time to interact with them, but some questions I always try to ask is, you know, what's your name? You know, my name's Ryan. I'm like, hi Ryan, I'm Adam. I hope you have a good day, you know, or something like that. And then a couple things. Number one, and this is for people on the street, not only that you give stuff to, but I'm a big believer in these next couple things. Number one, make eye contact, and number two, smile. Like, those seem like small things to a lot of us. But I have heard from friends of ours who are on the street who say that it's amazing how when they're out in public, when they're walking around, how every time people get close to them, their eyes go down, or they look away, or they get on their phone, right? Or they fake a phone call. And I remember friends saying, like, we know what's happening. Like, we know why they're doing that. We know that, like, we make them uncomfortable, and we know that, right, so for lots of different reasons. And so to me, there's an element of eye contact and smiling, even if you're not giving them anything, that just is this like touch of humanity to them and to you that I think is really, really important. And so I would say whether socks or homeless care packages are involved, when you have a chance to make eye contact with somebody and to smile at somebody, or even to say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays this time of year, I think that's really important. I have heard from a number of people that we first encountered who were on the street, who said that one of the reasons they were comfortable with Sherry and with I is that when we first met them, that we were like kind to them. Right, that we looked at them in the eye, we asked them questions, we heard their story, we showed an interest in them rather than just this avoidance of them. Take the effort when possible to get to hear some of their story. Because the effort you take, the effort you put in, even asking the wrong question with the right intention, I think shows that you have a level of interest in them, that you want to hear from them. And to be quite honest, most people in today's culture just don't, right? Most people on the street feel ignored, feel unseen, feel like a statistic, and feel like people just, again, want to look down, walk past them, and get by them. And so to me, gifts are good, but eye contact, a smile, restoring a little bit of humanity can actually be even better. And the other thing I'd say is that, remember, things like this I think are really good because I think that it can bring a moment of relief or a moment of even just like happiness and kindness to a point in a person's life. But this doesn't solve homelessness. Right? Let's be very, very clear. This doesn't get anybody off of the street. This can bring a bit of relief or, again, a bit of kindness to a moment, but this doesn't solve homelessness. And so I'd say if you're somebody who says, hey, I love the bags, I love the socks, those are cool ideas, but I'm really more interested in like maybe systemic change and how do we solve that? Those are people that I would always say, look for ways to support organizations who are trying to do just that. Right? Who are trying to say, how can we get upstream of this issue and make actual systemic change, as well as helping people in the moment? Because to me, it's about both. It's about both and. Like, we need to care well for the people who are in it, but then we also need to work hard to make long-term lasting change so that in the future, we have even less people who need socks and even less people who need these kind of gift bags. So friends, that is this video. I hope it didn't come across as a lot of rambling. Like I mentioned, a lot of you guys have asked us about this. You know that this is an issue that Sherry and I are passionate about. And so I thought, you know what, let's just take a minute and show you one of the practical things that we do. And one of the things that we do, we give out a whole heck of a lot of socks. We give out a bunch of these homeless gift bags. And I gotta tell you, every time we do, there is something that just feels more alive within us. There is something in us that just feels like kindness was the right choice and we feel better because of it. So friends, we love you guys. If you have questions about this stuff, let us know in the comments below. I would love to interact with you. I'd love to engage with you. I'd love to answer any questions you have about this. Thanks for being a part of our LeggLife community. We love that you guys follow along with everything we do. We love that you guys have asked us questions about this already. We love that our community has a heart to make a difference in the lives of people. It's one of the things that we are the most proud of about you guys, is that you love Sherry and I so well, you support us all the time, but you really do care well for all people, and you want to make the world a better place, and we love you for that. LeggLife friends, thank you so much for everything you do, and we'll see you on the next LeggLife video.